first, I want to congratulate you for your B2 conversion of Cisco.
Thank you, Adit. Thank you very much.
Jayesh, tell us more about yourself.
As you told, my name is Jayesh, and I am currently pursuing information technology from a National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, and I am currently in final year.
Okay. So, Jayesh, what was the procedure to apply for the internship?
So, in our campus, the company came for the on-campus placements. So the company posts their job offers in our channel. So we need to apply from using our website, our own local website. So, okay, so should I tell you all about the process for the coding round and the interviews as well?
Yes.
Okay, so the first round was a coding round, which around 200 or more than 200 people gave, and it consists of the two parts. The first part was the coding part, and the second part was objective part that consists of questions from operating system. Yeah, DBMS was not there because I was applying for internship. So, and if someone is applying for full-time employee, so DBMS also gets added. And the other topics were objective-oriented programmings and some C and other programming languages concepts. So what I guess what the coding question was something related to some sliding sliding window protocol, I guess. It was pretty easy, not much stuff. And some of the questions were of electronics engineering also, like some diode and all, and gates, not gates. Not many. There were 2, 3. A few questions, and the other questions was of programming concepts, and around 20 I guess, yeah, 20 students were selected for further rounds. So after some days, the Cisco company visited our campus, and the first round, so I had 4 rounds of interviews including the HR. First round it was pretty easy. The interviewer just asked me questions related to my resume and what all projects I did. I just need to explain that what all data structures I used in a particular project, on what all sectors of information technology did you use to just what all the development areas and what all frameworks did you use in a particular project. So these were asked, and there's some easy questions, a little bit modified questions on stacks, queues, its implementation using array linkage. These were asked, and yeah, I was able to qualify for the second round. Second round was mostly data structures. Mostly the questions were asked from data structures and algorithms, like trees and different type of trees, how we can modify a tree, traversal of trees, that all. And 1 to 2 dynamic programming questions were also asked. I was able to crack, I guess, 1, and the second one I was able to crack with the help of mentor. I just consistently asked the mentor's doubt that or any hint for that, and he gave me hints, and we both were able to crack that question together. And yes, after that, the third round was what I thought that what I think was the toughest round for me. The questions were asked from the C language. I mentioned in my resume that in my programming skills, so I had mentioned C language in that. So he asked me about pointers, memset, mallocs, callocs, dynamic memory allocations, and all. And also he asked me questions on operating system, and bitwise manipulations and OOPS concept. Like I did, I studied OOPS in Java language. So he asked me in C++. So it's no problem. Like you just need to know language and concepts of object-oriented programming. So you can tell that, oh, I did in this, and which we can easily change it into another programming language. And yeah, finally, around 4 students were selected for the HR. And the HR was pretty simple, that why do you want to join company? How can company will be benefited from you? And yeah, what role are you interested in the company, and what all things that you are satisfied for that role. So yeah, it was pretty easy, and after all, for all the 4 questions, all the four the students who were selected for the HR got the internship offer, some internship offer.
Okay. So from which sources did you prepare for the internship?
Yeah. So one of the, as everyone knows, that data structures and algorithms is like uh, the most important thing for the internship as well as the full-time placement. So data structures and algorithm, I first referred, like we used to have usual classes, so I refer class notes, as well as I for the site Geeks for Geeks. There are a hell lot of questions for data structures and algorithms, and you just practice problems. You get stuck in anything, search in the Google, yeah, get back. And so this is, I think, is the best way to practice data structures question, or practice some competitive programming questions. And for other questions, okay, and data structures also, for data structures, I around 2 months prior to internship, I created account in Interviewbit, which I found that it was a pretty good site to practice the previous year questions, as most of the companies ask questions just modifying the previous year's questions. And for other topics like operating systems, database management system, and object-oriented programming. So object-oriented programming, I usually referred random YouTube videos for that. It's just some concepts. You can't teach anyone like object-oriented programming. You just refer some of the concepts. You you apply those concepts in code. Okay. So this way I learned object-oriented programming. For operating system, again, like this in Geeks for Weeks, there is a short summary or the notes of all the operating system, which is like a pretty quick to revise if you want. And Geeks for Geeks also have like a long note on individual subtopics of that operating system, or you can say a database management system as well. So yeah, Geeks for Geeks is like is the best site for preparing for interviews in any of the companies, including FANG and all.
Okay. So Jayesh, what is your opinion on how can an individual can clear the HR interview, technical interview, and technical test?
Okay. As I said that you just need to practice. Okay, there is nothing else than that. Okay, so for technical interviews, as I said, they will mostly ask DSA questions, operating system, and nothing else than the other core subjects. Okay, you don't need to do any like any other stuffs like machine learning, web development. Okay, so they will just ask questions what you all have been taught in college, like Net Cisco is it does most of the work in networking, but it doesn't. But it does for me. There was like not even a single question of networking asked. So yeah, so and I have also applied for application program. So they just asked DSA, OS, OOPS, and I said that Geeks for Geeks is the best site. So yeah, that's all.
And for technical interview, what are the do's and don'ts?
Okay, so I won't say any do's and don'ts. It's just like it's just like you need to like speak aloud in front of interviewers. They will give you a question. The question won't be easy. Sometimes it won't be easy. If sometimes it would be easy, but if you know the answer prior to the interview, but so you don't have to just go for the best approach. You have to first tell the brute force approach. Then afterwards you have to just optimize it further, and then you have to tell the best approach for that. And yeah, if you don't know the answer, or so yeah, you can communicate with the interviewer that okay, what all hints he can give so that you both can together solve a problem. And yeah, that's pretty. You first tell the brute force, then the optimize, and yeah, interview will help a lot in solving questions.
Okay. Can you give some advice for the junior fellows?
Junior fellows, yes. If the junior is around, if a junior is currently studying in its second year, I will tell him to focus more on data structures and algorithms, and all their subjects which they are taught in classes. They won't ask you any other than the subjects which will be covered. They all the subjects which they will ask, which will will be covered in the college. So you don't have to dig deep into web development, machine learning, as you are applying for, if you are applying for application development developer. So yeah, you don't need to do the other stuffs. First of all, please focus on the things which are taught in class or the topics which are taught in class, and then in third year you can progress with the development areas as well.
Okay. So which other branches are also eligible for the internship for the Cisco?
For Cisco, what I remember is at our time it was computer science, information technology, electrical electronics, and electrical and communication. Yeah,
Only
so
four
these four
branches.
branches. Yes, yes.
Okay. So Jayesh, in which profile you got the internship?
I got the internship in application development profile. So they had asked that in which profile you want to apply. They came for three profiles: application development, embedded systems, and networking. So yeah, I was more interested in application development side, so I applied for that branch.
Okay. Can you please give us some insight of your project?
Which project are you talking about? The internship project?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so internship, what I can say is it was more into, I was, okay, so first of all, I was in the department of web security and appliances in Cisco. So we had something called the data has been distributed among every centralized points in the Cisco has some pact with different companies, and they have their respective data over there. So what I needed to do was compile all the data from different companies and different places, and to just make it into a centralized cloud space, which is in the Cisco data centers. I think that's in USA or something. So in that way, the Cisco would have ease in modifying the other properties at a centralized point rather than many distributed points. So yeah, that was particularly a gist of my project over there.
Okay. So which tools and languages you used during your internship?
Okay, so my whole work was with Java. I used Java rigorously over the whole internship period. And talking about the tools, I was into Java template engines and like some of the libraries of XML. My most of the work was with XML or JSON. So the libraries of JSON, XML, and the Java template engines, yeah, there are many different libraries for that.
Okay.
Yeah, in short, you can say that the Java template engines.
Okay. So what were your day-to-day responsibilities during the internship?
Okay, about day to day. So first we were allotted a manager, and the manager further allotted a mentor to us. My mentor was like in a senior position in Cisco, and day to day there wasn't like a specific time you need to start like from 9 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, they just need that your work should be completed within a particular span of time. Either you start at any time of the day, and mostly my mentor was busy with his meetings and all in the daytime, so we mostly meet at around 5 and 6 in the evening, in which we would like discuss what all have we done, what all can we do further, and how it can be optimized and all. So yeah, that was around it. And afterwards, again, I was busy with my homework. So yeah, my most of the meet was with a mentor, not much with a manager. And manager used to take in the weekends. We meet at the weekends so that he also get to know that what all work have been done under his project.
Okay. So what other profiles does Cisco offers?
Okay, so as I said that for an internship as well as for the FTs, there are three profiles which the Cisco came for. It was application developer, embedded systems, and the third was networking profile. And yes, I applied for application. Embedded and all was mostly for you can say embedded system is mostly for electronics and electrical branches. The IT and CS, they mostly apply for application development.
Okay. So what did you expect before joining this internship?
So expectation was like when we had our interviews, we don't know that the corona will strike very soon. So we had an expectation going to Bangalore and visiting the new campus and roaming around in the Bangalore. I haven't been to Bangalore yet, so just see what all stuffs, what all stuff Bangalore is got to present us. But as the Corona came, so yeah, the Cisco and the university team of Cisco handled the situation well and get up with our like what you say workstations in our home only. With yeah, they managed all the VDIs, virtual desktop infrastructure. So we didn't. So the hardware wise, we didn't think that what the Cisco company has to offer in all the hardware terms and the resource term, we get that in our own laptop. So that wasn't really a problem when doing it work from home case.
Okay. So what was the reality?
Yeah, I said that the reality, I was just sitting in my bed, operating from my home.
Okay. So Jayesh, do you think that if you had some other skills, then the internship would have been more fruitful to you?
No, I don't think that because it's an intern. Okay, so the company needs an aspirant who is like dedicated to his work. He doesn't need a student that who knows everything. Okay, that's why it's called an internship. So if you are good with the basics, like as I told DSA, OS, and all the topics taught in class, the other things like frameworks and all with development areas, you will get hand in it very soon. So no, I didn't thought that yeah, if I would be good in this, I would have get a better opportunity or I would have got an upper advantage over some case. No, that was not the case.
Okay. So how was your experience with the Cisco?
The experience was pretty good. The Cisco, as we know, is mainly focused on networking. It's a networking giant. And yeah, after interning in Cisco, I got to know that yeah, it's really is. It's is every day. It's like producing softwares or hardware to grow more and more into a networking industry. So yeah, it was very good. And I also am interested in networking and security. So that was a very good experience for me.
Okay. So what are the do's and don'ts for a student who will do internship in Cisco?
Okay, so they I can't say like there are this do's and don'ts. I will just say that just focus on the basics prior to getting internship. Just focus on the basics. You will get internships, and after getting internships, you will be given some work. And yeah, that's not like very much hectic or it's complex. Yeah, you will just learn. Just you will just clear your doubts with your mentors and all. Just one thing is that you need to maintain some of the good relations with your mentor and manager, as yeah, as everybody needs that the one joining in a company needs to be good in communications, as so that he can work as a part of a team, and yeah, so this is one of the thing that most students doesn't take into consideration. That's the communication and how you treat others. So this is one of the most important, and development and your coding skills, yeah, will also get along with it.
So can you give some tips to a student on how he or she can get a PP at Cisco?
PPO and Cisco. So it's not any hard or fast rule. So you just need to do your work with full dedication, and yeah, if you do work, you need to show your improvements or how much you have done to your mentor, and yeah, don't overdo anything as the mentor might like it or not might not like it, and the mentor will just, you need to just make the mentor satisfied or the manager, because if your work is worth considering, they will put it into a real life. Like the work of interns is not some, like for me the work I got wasn't like they will just make the interns do some work then scrap it off. No, it was like they will make some changes to it and they will deploy it into a real life situation. So yeah, you need to show your work to your mentor, make him satisfy that yeah, this is this how I do this, and you need to tell that what if and what not if, and all the handle all the test cases. Yeah, he will, and he if he will like your thinking and your coding skills, yeah, it is easy to get a PPO in Cisco.
Okay. So what are your suggestions for a tier 3 college student to crack the internship of Cisco?
Okay, selection. Okay, for tier 3 college, what I want to say that okay, as of now, currently also the Cisco is recruiting offline. I saw some of their posts in LinkedIn. So tier 2, tier 3 college in which Cisco doesn't come in their college, so they can apply out there. They just need to be, and what I read from the prerequisites and qualifications of the student they want is the same that is for the on-campus placements. They just need someone to be good with their basics and DSA and other skills. So you just need to, yeah, and obviously that's off campus and it would be difficult as you will be competing the whole country in spite of a campus. So yeah, you need to be in some like in a top-notch position over there. So yeah, but okay, yeah, your skills and the communication skills and your coding skills can get you an internship or a full-time employment in Cisco.
Okay. So Jayesh, does CGPA matters?
Yes, CGPA, actually CGPA matters. Most of them tell that no, CGPA doesn't matter, but it matters in some of my friends who are actually very good in coding. They have CGPA around 6, 6.5, and they can't even sit for the interviews. So mostly they are applying for off campus, which we know that it increases the difficulty of getting a placement or internship. So CGPA matters, but if the CGPA is above 8, so I don't think so there is any company who will reject you from sitting from the placements or internships. Above 7 is good. Most like around 95% of companies keep their cutoffs CGPA of 7. Yeah, most of the FANG companies also, they need that a student should be decent in their studies as well as good so in coding skills. So they keep 7. So at least 7, you should keep the CGPA at least 7.
Okay. So Jayesh, what is the threshold of a good CGPA? As you are talking about at least 7 and at least 8, but these are all for a tier 1 college, right? For our college, right?
Yes, yes.
But for a tier 3 college student, what should be the threshold of a very good CGPA?
I think there is no threshold for tier 2 and tier 3. First of all, in most of the companies, like for tier 2 and tier 3, they send their resumes first. It's not like the in on-campus placement resume doesn't give you like if your resume is good, it doesn't every time means that you will get selected for that. They will check your other coding skills through the one-to-one interview. But for off-campus interviews and for tier 2 and tier 3, as we are talking about, first of all, they will have a resume selection process, which is very rigorous, like thousands of resumes. They get around thousands of resumes. So they like just rigorously select and just throw away the other resumes because they don't need, yeah, obviously they get thousands of resumes. So why would they spend time on resume who has CGPA less than the other, and they have like you can say have same skills, others, yeah, they have the same skills, okay, like same coding skills, they have like a same rank in CodeChef, and they have done a similar type of projects in machine learning. And if one's rank is less than the other, so yeah, they will directly reject that rank, that resume. So in off-campus, yeah, resume should be, there is no threshold. It should be as high as possible. So you have to like keep resume also at a top notch, and also your coding skills. So that's pretty tough.
Okay. So any general advice to juniors from your 3-year experience of NITK?
3 year experience from NITK. First year was like, okay, so most of the so most of the students coming freshers think that I will be mostly talking about the CS and IT students. Most of the first years think that they should know coding from prior to the college. Okay, like if a person has coding classes in 11th or 12th, he will do much better afterwards also. So as I also didn't have any computer science subject in 11th, 12th, and the first year is always, you will see others that they are doing very easily a simple program, which you might find very difficult. They might do it very easily. So it's not like I have seen that the ones which do the programs easily in the first year, and the ones which are finding very hard to code, even like hello world problem statement, hello world statements. So they have improved a much better that they have outpasses that candidate. Okay, so you just need to be improving at the first. These coding and all seems little tough, but it's just a practice. But and yeah, it will overcome that. And first year it would be like that. It was for me also pretty tough in computer science and all subjects. In second year, yeah, you get well versed with it. And yes, in third year, you can see you will be able to code most of the algorithms and all. So yeah, that's all for the first 3 years, and how was my journey in college of computer science.
Yeah. So on that note, Jayesh, we should wrap the interview. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experience of Cisco. Okay.
Thank you, Aditya.
Okay. All the best for the
Bye.
future. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.